Excellent, 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 excellent. Welcome, 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 welcome. Let me see. Here we go. Good stuff. We're live. Excellent. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Each and every one of you guys who logged on to our Sunday night vision mastery call. This is what we do this call each and every Sunday, at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I just want to say congratulations to all of you guys who showed up for this Sunday night vision mastery. And as I always tell people, vision is what you envision. And this is where you have an opportunity to actually grow yourself, grow your mind, expand on your thoughts, put yourself into a position where you can actually learn to stretch your imagination past your situation. Because unfortunately, with so much going on right now, guys, these days, many people, they want success. They want to figure out how they can get to the next level. But so many times, as you're looking at other people and you're trying to gauge your success against other people's successes, wondering why you're not in a space that other people are, it can start to do something to the psyche. It can start to do something to the emotions. It can literally throw you off, guys, where you start to feel like an imposter. But before I actually get into the training, I just want to say congratulations and congratulations to our brand new business partners, who actually had got promoted to the rank of director. So congratulations, Dr. Cohort, and congratulations, Cedric. I'm saying I was gonna say the entertainer, but Mr. Cedric, congratulations. All right, well, for both of you guys who actually were able to get it done, we spent some time on the calls, putting together strategies. Dr. Gordon said they were serious about putting things in place. And I always tell people part of that process is literally keeping your word. If you say you're going to do a thing, you got to follow it through, no matter what it looks like. As you say you want to expand yourself and you want success and you want to grow yourself, no matter what shows up, because as soon as you start to say, I'm about to change my life, I'm gonna change my situation, I'm about to go for it, all hell tends to break loose. And when all hell breaks loose, stuff start getting in the way. Now you start sabotaging, self-sabotaging, self-imposed limitations, self-thoughts, all these things that happen that stop us to go. And funny thing is, some people, they'll go, well, maybe God's telling me not to do a thing. Maybe God's telling me not to do this. Maybe this is God's way of telling me. Well, I tell people all the time, you already pray for the thing to show up. When a thing shows up and you put a goal in place, I just don't believe that once you say you want to accomplish something, you know what I'm saying, that is it's always his will. It's God's will that you know everything. What you do with the thing is of your own free will. So when people say it's his will, well, if that's who you follow, if that's what your religion is, if that's what your space is, then you understand that's what it is. But if you may not be a person who's into religion in that way, it don't matter. Still keep your promise. If you say you're going to do a thing, you have to keep your word and recognize that as soon as you say, I'm going for it, all of a sudden the car breaks down, some relationship starts going haywire, something's always starts to happen. Before you know it, you start going, I don't know if maybe next week. Maybe I'll do it. I'm gonna start fresh. I'm gonna start fresh next week. No, keep your word. And as Dr. Corey kept her word and said kept his word and they went for it. At first, when you start going for it, it don't look like it's gonna happen. Sometimes you start going for it and it doesn't look like you may start hitting bumps in the road. And they both were hitting bumps in the road. Things was happening. Part of their plan wasn't coming together, but as they stayed focused, as they kept going towards their goal, all of a sudden things started coming together. So I just want to say congratulations to you guys who absolutely was able to hit your goals, hit your your ranks and have the results that you're looking for. But tonight, guys, I want to actually talk about something, right? I want to talk about what people have been hearing, this thing that they call imposter syndrome, and it's a real thing. And I want to make sure that we have this conversation because as we go to the next level in business, as you go to this next level and things starting to take off, I want you to understand that you have to identify what that means for you. And basically, like imposter syndrome is like literally like a psychological pattern that when people start to have doubts, they start to doubt like you can literally accomplish a thing. You can have the results from a thing, but all of a sudden now you start to doubt the thing. Fear becomes fraud. You start to feel like you're a fraud at something. I don't know if I should do this because maybe and you can literally have talked to someone and got a positive response, and because something inside you want to go against that, the common response that people will start to have whenever a win comes, you know how we say you got to go for the win, then people will start to figure out some way that it's a loss. And persistent self-doubt, guys, it can, I mean, It can do something that can eradicate every win that you had, that constant self-doubt, that constant belief that you're not good enough, constant belief that what you're focusing on is not real, constant belief that this win is not a real thing, or you constantly feeling like you're going to be exposed for what you really are. That's what you're thinking. What if they find out? The thing about this imposter syndrome that I find that gets people to this space to where they don't succeed is that all the stuff that you start to attribute to luck, well, maybe it was just luck rather than ability. And I want you to make sure you're taking some notes, because as you're taking notes today, right? I always tell people, there's four levels of listening: listening to, listening at, listening with, and listening for. And listening for is the highest level of listening. And as you're listening for, I want it's not listening. Don't just be floating around, watching TV, watching something, texting, doing something. No, really be in the moment. And if you know you've been asking the universe, asking God, asking for a way, you've been trying to figure out the next step, I want you to listen for, like, pay attention. So when you hear, you go, that's for me. I understand exactly what he's talking about. I get what he's saying right now. Let me focus in on what he's saying, because I want you to listen for, because listening for is the highest level of listening. But it's really important, guys, that you focus in on this imposter syndrome, because we're going to this next level, this next phase of success. And if you constantly keep doubting that every win that you're having is not the actual win, if you sell one product, that's a win. If you talk to one person, that's a win. If you keep comparing yourself to other people all the time, that's not the win. You know what I'm saying? And part of that imposter syndrome comes from people constantly comparing themselves to other people and saying to themselves that, well, it was just luck, instead of you just saying it's your ability. And then you start to have this fear of being found out, this fear that people gonna find out that you really don't know. But let me help you understand something. As I told you, as I've been telling you guys all the time, when you have the right resources around you, when you have the people that has been connected to you, right? It's kind of like, I remember, like, growing up, right? And I always teach through stories, right? I remember growing up in the hood, in the projects in New York. And I remember, I remember I used to, it was I used to always get bullied, right? And I remember one time I'm getting bullied, and I'm actually talking to my, these guys was like, these guys all in my face like this, Rebecca. They like they do when you're a kid. They be all in your face like this. Hey, Trey, what's that? Trey. They be in your face like this. I'm a kid, right? They poking me in my face. Yeah, you ain't nothing. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, yeah, whatever. You put your face to the side. You start to twist your lips up like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, okay, whatever. So as they kept putting their fingers in my face, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Because I'm trying to be cool. I'm trying to be tough. But when I got back into the corner with all these guys and everybody talking mess, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Whatever. Then all of a sudden, out the corner of my eye, I look at the corner of my eye and I see my cousin come around the corner. And as he come around the corner, all of a sudden, I went from going, yeah, what? Now all of a sudden, now my chest is poked out. I'm like, yeah. Now I'm like, you ain't saying nothing. And then all of a sudden, now the thing is this: my cousin was a girl, when she rolled up, when she rolled up, because she was the type of person that when she put them paws on them, you know what I'm saying? When she put them paws on people, man, she was like a beast. But the thing is this: when she rolled up, man, my confidence went all to another level. Prior to that, yeah, I would talk a good game, but also I had that doubt, I had that fear. But it took somebody else. That basically means when your family is there, when you have fortified yourself with the right family member that you believe in, that you know. So whether it's your family and that fight for existence, that fight for life, or your real fight when it comes to, that was a fight in the moment, but it's a metaphor for your fight for life. As you're going forward, life is going to come at you, guys, and life is going to come at you hard. And the thing is this: when he comes at you, yeah, I know sometimes we like to kowtow. Yeah, I don't know if I'm not ready. What? And you let life beat you up, but something happens. And I've experienced it where when life may catch you down the alley, and when he catches you down the alley, you may be the person that normally backs away. You normally back off because you don't want the smoke. But if they do something with your family member, they come against your child, they come against your mother, come against your. I found many times over the years, I used to didn't always fight for myself the way I would fight for a family member. When I grew up in the projects, when I grew up in the Bronx, I ended up learning to fight not to defend myself, but defend my brothers and sisters. And in that process, my brothers and sisters knew that they have family, and it made them feel confident. When my cousin came up, I had family, and it made me feel confident. When you know that you have the right family, this call, the people that you're surrounded with, your leadership team, when you know you have the right family, you have to gain confidence from that. When you have the right resources, the people who will back you up, the people who will be there for you, that helps you to eliminate that imposter syndrome because a lot of times we start to fear and feel that we don't know enough. We don't have enough. What if somebody asks me something and I don't know? What if they try to put me in a position and I don't, and I look like a fool? But I'm like, no, you guys to understand, Rebecca. You have to understand, Monica. You have to understand, Coach Catherine. You have to understand, Corey. All the doubts and all the things you put in your what if I get somebody in and they ask me something I don't know? What if I get somebody? What if people find? What if I do this call and I mess up? No, no, don't allow yourself to believe that you're not good enough. That imposter, that feeling, that syndrome that people have, it's like a reflection. It becomes like a reflection of of actual competence. You can really be competent in the thing, but the reflection that you see in your competence is you know how some people they'll be healthy, they'll look good, but in their mindset they'll see themselves as overweight. So therefore they'll stop eating until they're underweight. They'll see themselves they'll see themselves thin, and then they'll keep eating until they see themselves till they're overweight. But in their mindset, the reflection that they're seeing, despite the fact that in the real world, despite the fact that they really look okay, that reflection that you have of actual competence, it can distort the thinking, the patterns that you have. And that's why when we have these conversations, I like to have a real conversation because a lot of things that we're going through right now are psychological. And if you really want to go to this next level in your life, this next level in your business, you want to be able to excel to a whole nother level, you have to really understand that imposter syndrome, it can stop you from having the results that you want to have in your life. And I'm looking to build a team of people, an organization of people that believe in themselves like none other. A team of people that as soon as you walk up to people who see you in their mindset, they feel you have the answers. And the thing is this, you do because people are looking for a way. They're looking for the right information, looking for the right people. The comment sections are full and filled with people being negative and tearing each other down and not believing in nobody and not even caring. And when people coming to you, they're looking to you for leadership. And when looking to you for leadership, you have to understand that if you can name it, you can tame it. If you can name that thing, you can tame it. So don't keep feeling that this doubt and that you don't I don't know. No, if you can name that thing, you can tame that thing because you got the people around you that can help you. So when so that reflection is no longer just you looking at yourself and feeling like you're not good enough. That slight look to the left and to the right, you'll see me standing there. You see your team standing there. You see other people who got the answer standing there. You see the company standing there. You see other people who can help add the value to that. So it can help you to eliminate that imposter syndrome because part of that syndrome is something called the performance paradox. And when that performance paradox can really throw people off in their mindset. That means even though you have this performance and you know that the performance is good, everything starts to feel like a mistake. And I've had conversation with people even today. And the thing is this, I can even say that, and the person, and it may not even be the person that's listening, but they'll still be like, "Oh, he talking about me." No, it's just I be having conversations with dozens of people, and but because the conversation feels like a threat, that means you can literally win, and you've been conditioned to believe that it's a threat against yourself. That even though your performance has been good and is great, and this pressure that starts to trigger this anxiety, this fatigue, this all the things that start to happen, this narrow focus that you start to have because you start having limited ability to feel that you're being creative because in your mindset, your performance is tied to every mistake you've been through, every identity threat that you've been through. The brain starts to shift from learning mode to survival mode. So now all of a sudden now, instead of just being open and looking to learn and grow yourself, you start going into survival mode and start to feel stress. And stress starts to produce cortisol. And when that starts to happen, guys, now all of a sudden you don't have flexibility, you don't have memory, you start to forget things. All these things that what I'm telling you guys. Yes, I can talk about the hype, but I like to make sure people understand there's a true psychology to a lot of things that's happening. And I'm not going to talk to you as though you're children. I'm not going to patronize you or patronize you, however you want to pronounce it. I'm not going to do that to make you feel. Yes, I can talk in baby steps, but you're grown, and there's so much going on in life that you're going to have to force yourself to step into this next level of learning, this next level of expectation. This is a season of multiple 6 and 7 figure income earners. This is a season of multiple 7 figure income earners. This is a season to be able to do that. You have to elevate your consciousness. You have to elevate how you think, elevate how you show up. It's going to be important that all the things that you've been going through, I want you to think about a time that you perfected a thing, you did a thing, and you felt proud of a thing. You hold on to that. Stop letting yourself that as soon as you have a win, the paradox that you have from your performance, you go back to how it was a failure. And now, because you go back to how it's a failure, instead of showing up, instead of taking leadership, instead of owning at the moment, you keep trying to find a reason to silence yourself. Even like for instance, I always tell people, I said, listen, I'll literally coach people and say, when you log in, if nobody's coaching, nobody's host. But people will go from hosting to back to being quiet because there's a performance parity. But what if I don't? What if you literally can be a host and be amazing? You can take action and take leadership. And then at the very next thing, something in your psychology have you one questioning if, well, shouldn't I? Then you fall back quiet again. When you're in a space that you have to become explosive, you have to stay in a space that you know that the reflection that you're going to give out, that the reflection that people are seeing, that is one of confidence, one of belief, but you cannot allow the performance paradox to keep pulling you back and letting anxiety setting and triggering all these things that's stopping you from stepping into this next phase of your life. Because you got to ask yourself whether it's like confidence versus competence. It's like confidence versus competence. And you're competent in it. But if something about your confidence becomes debilitating to you. And let me clarify the difference. Competence is like your actual ability. It's like your knowledge, it's like your skill. That's your actual competence. Your confidence is like your belief in your ability and your ability to use those skills effectively. So even though you may be confident in a thing, you know how to talk, you know how to coach, you know how to do certain things, but your confidence, that means your belief in your ability to use those skills effectively, your confidence shows up. And it shows up. And again, when we're logging on to calls and we're doing calls, we have new people who are looking to leaders. They're looking to be involved. They can get involved so they can evolve to become somebody more, to become something better. And as they're getting involved, and they're trying to build their own confidence because confidence comes from accomplishments. But once you do a new thing, once you do a thing, there's new neurons and neural pathways that start being connected. But to strengthen those neural pathways, to make them strong, what becomes a habit, you have to keep doing the same thing. Every time you do something new, even right now while we're talking, this is some words and terminology and things you've never done before. There's new neural pathways starting to be connected. If I'm saying a word, write it down and go back and do some further research on it. Do some further thought analysis on it. Get better at it on your own. Do some Google and Chat GPT. Understand it better for yourself because you're in a space to this 6 figure income, 7 figure income, this whole space you're looking to be so you can become better. You have to be better for yourself to be better out there. Get better in here to be better out there. So I understand a lot of people, they overcompensate with all of their performance confidence. Oh yeah, they try to all this chest poke, but it's to hide insecurities. That's why when it's time to step out, I normally see the insecurity. You'll be a certain way for a moment to do all this. Sometimes people they'll be overconfident over this right here, but a lot of people are fronting. They acting like they got it popping on IG. They acting like things. And again, I can literally give people everything they need to help them succeed. But in their mindset, what he talking about? He ain't talking about nothing. Uh-huh. Yeah, okay. Uh-huh. I got you. I got you. But you're looking at a person that has overcome those self-imposed limitations over and over and over again. The person who had to deal with the same issues that I'm telling you right now, because I had to deal with it as well. You start to question yourself. Sometimes you start to question, is it me? What's going on? What am I doing? What am I doing wrong? But a lot of times you're doing things right. But the thing what you're doing wrong is doubting yourself and having that imposter syndrome and believing that you're not good enough. So if you're that person that when it comes to confidence versus your competence, and you find yourself trying to be boisterous or trying to be extra to hide your insecurities, just know that true confidence, it grows from competence plus self-awareness. Your true confidence, your confidence. I got this ability and I believe in it. I know who I am. I know whose I am. All the things that we say. But when it versus your actual ability and you say what it is, but in the back of your mind you feel you don't know, it can throw your true confidence off. But when you have true confidence and you really have confidence in your ability, even if it's your ability to learn, your ability to grasp the concept and use it quickly, to understand exactly I'm going to grow myself. And oh yeah, I like that. Like let me become better at that. See, I don't want you to chase confidence. Don't keep thinking you got to chase confidence. Don't think you got to keep trying to run behind confidence. Just know that confidence is going to follow your competence. And because confidence will follow your competence, I need you to step into you already know what you know, gain more confidence and by doing it, because you know how to. If I say host. If I say do a call. If I say do a meeting, do a meeting. If I say do a presentation, just do it. Just know that everything else, your confidence is going to follow your competence. But to become competent in the thing, you're going to have to do the thing. Do the thing, you get the power. Do the thing, get the power. Do the thing, you gain the power. And I need you to do the thing so you can gain the power. I need you to focus on mastery. Focus on mastery and focus on measurable growth, not appearance, not how you think. Let me try to make it look like this. Let me know. Focus on mastery. And the thing about mastery, you got to learn to master the mundane, the day in, day out, week in, week out, year in, year out activities that's going to predicate the end results of a whole lot of success. But you got to master the mundane the same way it can be mundane to go to the job, mundane to get up at the same time every day to go back and forth to school, go back and forth to work, back. You got to learn that every day you're like, you get sick and tired. What's going on? Life. It's like you get tired of life. Get tired, and now you start to hate life and hate all the things that come up with life. You have a great job, a great business, but you because it's mundane, you start to hate it. But when you start to hate, you secretly conspire against that which you hate on an unconscious level. Let me check the time. So I want to make sure that you don't chase confidence, chase competence. Get competent. So do the thing, and you get the power. I think they said it's Emerson. Emerson said, do the thing, get the power. Just do the thing. Do it. Just do it. Many times when I be doing things, a lot of times I do it for the first time. People, oh my God, you did amazing, Scott. I'm like, I just did it at the moment. It's my first time doing it. Because I know once I do it, I'll get better at it. I don't stress because I know I'm competent in who I am. I'm competent in my skill set, but I also have confidence that I'm going to adapt. That I have pliability, I have resilience, that I know how to overcome these self-imposed limitations. That I understand that adversity is life, and life has a key to your door. When it comes in the front door, you got to be going at the back door because you have things to do. And I need to make sure that to help you overcome that imposter syndrome, so that the stress that comes with that, because it can create a stress, that level of like that fear of being found out. Think about Think about it's like when you had. I remember, and I always tell the stories because we teach them. I learn and teach the stories, right? I've had stories when being chased, and I was well, growing up in the hood. I was being chased with people who were trying to shoot me. Matter of fact, I've been shot before. I've been shot in the back, came out through my stomach. I got a scar that goes from here down to here. But somebody shot me in my back with a 45. It came out through my stomach. They were trying to murder me, almost kill me. All right. So I understand how things can happen, how fear can take over. So I've had real world consequences, real world situations, real world things that has caused stress. And stress and cortisol, when it happens inside the brain, stress releases all this cortisol, which is why I try to help you. When you have a level of competence, a confidence and competence, something happens to where it starts to alleviate the stress. Because stress, it can create this chronic thing. You constantly have this imposter syndrome where you constantly doubting and I don't know. What if they find out that I really don't know? What if they ask me something I don't know? You ask me, hold on a second. That's a great question. Let me find out. You know what happens? If somebody asks a president something, he'll say, "Hold on a second, Jack." He don't have to know. He's the man in charge, Jack, and Jack will tell you what it is because he got Jack and Jack knows the stuff, which means he's confident. He's confident that he got Jack. And he put Jack in place, and Jack knows. A good leader is going to have the confidence that you know that your team, the people you have surround you, that you have around you. They're gonna, and if they're not, you can replace and you'll find the other people. You'll find, but they're gonna be connected to who you are. But stress and cortisol, this whole stress, this chronic disbelief, this chronic failure attitude. I have a fear of failure. I have a fear of success. People have. Well, why you gonna start having fear? What if I fail? What if I succeed? What the hell? So what you gonna do? Nothing. So you're gonna just sit and just well, every time I turn around, this is happening. Well, you're the only one turning the hell around. So of course it ain't everybody else, it's you. So if you understand that there's chronic stress, it elevates cortisol. And cortisol levels can affect your memory and your decision-making abilities. I need you to understand that. That's why when I have these calls, I like to speak in such a way, not with your children. Like I said, I don't have no degree. I have a high school diploma. I've been self-educated, self-taught, mentors and people who are successful who taught me another way of how to look at self, but how to look for information, and how to ask the right questions. The quality of your life will be determined by the quality of the questions you learn to ask and even asking yourself. That's why I always say, write it down and research it because I want you to ask the questions yourself. I want you to get better yourself. I want you to find things out for yourself. I want the algorithm when I say write a thing, when I say go search it, because what you normally see in your algorithm when you're in Google and doing things, and when certain things show up in videos and stuff, is based off of what you've been looking for. I'm purposely giving you new things, new neural pathways in your brain, but also giving you new things. I said, write that down and research yourself. You know why I do that? So that you can shift the algorithm in your phone, shift the algorithm in your computer, shift so that the things that's been holding you back, the self-limiting thing, because you constantly gonna be looking for more reasons to stay fearful, more reasons to not believe, more reason to compare yourself to everybody else, and now you compare yourself to everybody else. You start to feel like that you're not good enough. You start to feel that you're an imposter. All these things that start to happen. So because I understand it, I'm making sure that I'm helping you to eliminate the stress. Because when I can help you build your competence and help you build your confidence, your memory improves because your stress levels go down, your decision making abilities improve over time. Cortisol can impair your focus. It can impair your motivation. It can impair your emotional regulation. It can impair all those things. So because it can, I'm as a leader, I'm your business partner, but as a leader in this process, as a thought leader, as they call it, the person who sits back and I'll go to a lake or a river or a beach or the mountains or something. I'm sitting back and I'm thinking, trying to figure things out. trying to put things in a space that I can help people grow, looking to be able to find new ways to help elevate the consciousness of the people around me. Because if I'm going to add people around me, I want people around me that can add value to my life and add value to the process. But this is the deal. When you understand that you've been having, sometimes you exist on this high level of stress, and even though you've been doing it so long, it becomes such a natural way of how you show up because of the imposter syndrome and how you've been. It's a whole psychological thing that's causing you constantly in constant fear of being found out, constant fear of people gonna find that you broke, you struggling, you ain't who you portraying on social media. You don't want nobody to find out that you really don't know you have all the answers. Don't want anybody to hear your voice because they don't want them to hear. Listen, I don't care. I know I stutter. I know I stammer. I know I talk fast. I know I talk with a lisp. I know I talk all the. I'm in New York. I don't care. I'm still going to elevate myself in my space because that's who I am in my space. But I'm going to learn to speak in articulate tones, and I have because I wanted to be more. I wanted to be more than who I was. So my constant evaluation is not against other people. Other people are doing a bunch of things. When we start posting things on social media, we want to post that we elevating, post that we making money. I got promotions, all this other stuff we do. We do all this stuff. Yeah, we know people are looking, but I don't want you to look in such a way where you start to feel that, oh man, they winning. It's this. I'm never that lucky. I'm never gonna win. No, you can, but you have to understand that cortisol overload, it can have like give you like constant fatigue. It can put you like we have like brain fog. Write this stuff down because I need you to understand it's really important. You have irritability, emotional detachment from situations and people and everything else because it's so much like I just don't feel like dealing with it right now. And it gets to the point that your body don't even know the difference between a real threat and a mental one. And every time you keep saying, I'm not good enough, those thoughts signal like danger in your mind. And it's dangerous to stay in that space. It's dangerous to keep believing you're not good enough. It's dangerous to keep believing that you're not going to win. It's dangerous to keep believing that you can't compare to other people. No, I want you just to compare yourself to who you were yesterday and become a better version of yourself today. Some things you can do to help you rebalance, right? These strategies you can be able to use. Like a lot of times I told you, I did a training call yesterday and at 11:11, my alarm went off, right? And normally when it goes off, if people with me, I normally stop. I stop whatever I'm doing. It's a whole 1 second. And the alarm is going off and I'm like, I'm happy and grateful now. I'm Jason L. Scott first. I'm a money magnet, walking vault. Successful entrepreneurs find me. And I'll say my affirmations and I'll be in this space and I allow myself. The reason why I let my alarm go off, it goes off at 11:11. It goes off at 4:12, which is my birthday. Right. And again, and even that, when that tone goes off, I call that, it says in my alarm, it says celebration of life. Because I want to remind myself that this is my birthday. This is the day I was born. This is the day I was made. Calm your energy, breathe deeply. Because a lot of times when people start getting stressed, we're not even breathing correctly. Taking deep breaths, all these things that can help you, to help your body to help itself. Strategies you can use for deep breathing, grounding techniques you can use, going outside, taking off your shoes in the grass, all you just grounding yourself in home the best way you can, just calming yourself and putting yourself into a state where your energy is better, having adequate sleep, having adequate movement. All these things are rebalancing strategies that you can use. Taking mindful breaks purposely, that you're taking a break. Okay, let me take a break for a moment. And just understand that when you're resting, it's not laziness, it's repair. But you're taking a mindful break to rest, a mindful break for the moment, rest for the moment, sit back for the moment, get yourself into space for the moment. Then you get back. But it's rest and it's repair. It's not laziness. So let me check this out. So as I start to wrap it up, guys, again, this call was talking about imposter syndrome because I'm talking with people every day and I'm seeing in how people reaction, how their actions are and how their reactions are. And I'm seeing what people are, and I'm talking, I'm having conversations. And I'm like, yo, I, to have seven-figure thinkers around you. I'm a seven-figure earner. I'm a seven-figure thinker. And again, it's not about the money. I tell people, make it a goal to earn $1 million. Not because of the money, but because of who you must become in the process of earning that. Make it a goal to earn $100,000 if you've never done it before. Not because of the 100,000, but because of who you must become in the process. Now, this deal, it's not about the money. It's about the fact that to do that, you have to become somebody different. Become a successful entrepreneur, you have to become somebody different. You have to study, you have to learn even skill sets, new skill sets, and then you got to apply. So it's not about doing it because you want to impress anybody. It's doing it because, and again, the money comes and goes. You could have earned seven figures, but and be right back today back at zero figures and four figures. But the thing I found is this: people who have earned it and they then know how they got it and they know how what system they use to regulate themselves. If you take it away, they can get it back, some form of it back, sometimes even more than what they did before. It's only when you haven't grown in the process. That's why I said it's not about the money. It's about making it a goal because of who you must become. And I always tell people, I say I get it confused between Zig Ziglar or Jim Rohn who said that. You can Google it yourself. Google who said that. Just again, you do it yourself. Then type it into our chat group on online or our WhatsApp group and tell me who said it, Jim Rohn or Zig Ziglar. Make it a goal to make $1 million, not because of, and again, I didn't say it, they said it. Make it a goal to earn 1 million, not because of the million, but because of who you must become in the process. So I can say to you, make it a goal to earn six figures, not because of the six figures, but because of who you must become in the process, who you got to become to coach, to teach, to train other people. So as I wrap up the call, and we're talking about some practical tools of overcoming this imposter syndrome, having this cognitive restructuring that is going to take, you have to restructure how you think, has to restructure how you focus. You got to challenge your thoughts. Like all the time, you be like, man, I got lucky. No, no, no. What evidence supports that how you got that? That's how I got it. If you studied, that's evidence. If you got results, that's evidence. Don't keep thinking that it's luck. Don't just think it is one time. No, no. If you did it once, you can do it again. You gain confidence, you gain competence. If you did it once, if you spoke, you can speak again. If you sold, you can sell again. If you talk, you can talk again. You can get better at the thing, but you have to restructure how you think about the thing so you can calm your energy. Stop thinking about it as being luck and ask yourself, like, what evidence supports that I work for this? And if you know that you took notes and you study notes, implement the notes, that means you study. We say leaders take notes, leaders study notes, leaders implement notes. That means you study to show yourself approved. I study to show myself approved. Nobody can't tell me nothing. Yes, I got a ways to go. I'm always looking for more. I'm always looking for the right people to surround myself with. People who are doing better than what I am in that space. So because the conversations are different. Conversation that millionaires have are different than the conversation that billionaires have. And it's not about the money, it's just the conversation that they have. And right now, we're in a space, guys, where we have to be in control of our own lives, our own destinies. So much is happening so fast and changing so quick. We don't know how things are going to exist in 6 months from now, how they're going to exist 1 year from now. We have to take every action. It has to be a focused action, one that you have a goal and you put in a deadline on it because there's a purpose. And I know we talk about this as our Sunday vision mastery call. Vision pushes you. And vision is what you envision, but vision is going to push you. It's going to keep pushing you, nudging you forward. And sometimes it can knock you over because vision can be blurred. And your sight can distort your vision, but your purpose pulls you. Purpose will pull you forward, and purpose will keep you, even when you may feel like you're tired and limping. It's like a tractor beam that keeps pulling you forward. So these cognitive restructuring the thoughts that I want you to get. I want you to question yourself. Be like, yo, if you doubt on something, what evidence that I have that supports that I did this, that I deserve this? What evidence? Because if you have the evidence of it, all right. Like when people say, it's like, what's the word? Sometimes people say, I'm skeptical of a thing. Well, skepticism disappears in the face of truth. You can be skeptical until the truth. It's a fact. It's a damn fact. It's a fact. Nobody can tell me nothing. It's a fact. And once it's a fact, all skepticism is out the damn door because it's a fact. So you ask yourself, what evidence supports that I work for this so it can be fact to you? And you stop believing, maybe, I don't know, maybe was it worthy? Was I worthy of it? And I want you to, like, in your process of like feedback that you're looking for, your feedback seeking, you're trying to seek feedback and all this other stuff. I want you to make sure that when you're getting feedback, you learn to self-assess, and don't let somebody else just, like, if they give you negative feedback on stuff, this and this things, you have to learn to have the discernment when people are really trying to be for you or really against you. If they constantly kind of always tell you that every time you win in that it's a loss, because some people want to impose their own restrictions on you, their own self-imposed limitations on you. And you have to recalibrate that yourself with your own self-assessment. And you got to recalibrate if you have a distorted self-assessment about yourself. So all your external things that you're doing, perceptions. Listen, I got my crib. I've been paying rent. I've been struggling. I got it done. I got my own crib. I got this right here. I got this. I got my life. I got this job. I have this. I have a business. Feel confident and recalibrate and feel good about it. Recalibrate how you feel about the thing. So that's one thing when it comes to feedback. Another thing is comes the support network. This is why I tell people with Leadership Academy, it's about unity. You and I together, yes, we're so much more together than we could ever be apart. But this support network, that means surround yourself with peers and people who normalize, what I'm saying, vulnerability, who will normalize growth. That's why I be vulnerable. Because again, we trying to act like we got it all figured out. We trying to, but we don't want nobody to know. So behind the scenes, we're like, man, what do they find out? No, yo, it could be challenging. I get it. That's why I was always honest about where I've been at the last few years, my last several years of me taking care of everything and doing what I'm doing and stuff. And I'm coming back like a lot of people coming back. But my comeback is different than most people's comeback because I know for a fact, I know how fast it can elevate. I know, and I'm watching elevation happen, and it's happening because I expect it, and you have to learn to expect it. That means you have to show up with, has to be a must. It must. When it becomes a must, something, it must happen. When you know that, I would tell people when I'm doing these talks, to put people on a platform of hope, because hope is the only thing that's stronger than fear. And fear is the most difficult thing to overcome because we've been hardwired to remember fear best. I say it all the time as a quote because I've learned it in such a way so I can remember it so that it becomes something for me more than just going, yeah, it's fear. No, it's hope. Hope is the only, once you have hope, hope can override fear. Once it kind of go from that hope situation, people start to say, start to ask the question, will you do it? Once you have some hope, will you do it? Will you step into it? Will you or won't you? Will you exercise your will or will you exercise your won't? I will do it. Or I won't. I will step into it. I will become more. I won't do it. It won't happen for me. I won't. What? I won't. No, I will. Benjamin Disraeli said, "Nothing can resist the human will that will stake even its existence for the extent of its purpose. Your will to survive. Your will to thrive. I will overcome." When people say God willing, well, God's will, everything, what you do with the things of your own free will. So the question is, will you? Not won't you, will you? So I need you to have some self-compassion. for yourself. Let me check the time as a wrap, but to wrap it up, I did this 1 hour of power. Have to have some self-compassion about yourself. And I want you to learn to treat yourself the way you would treat a real close friend. It's a real practice. Like treat yourself the way you treat a close friend. For real. Give yourself some gentle correction and not always harsh criticism. So give yourself some grace. I get it. I get it. Because trust me, I've been to the point where I'd be like, yo, shut your mouth. Shut up, Jason. Shut your damn mouth. Bite my lip to damn near bleed because I'm just, shut your damn mouth. You talk too damn much. Just shut your mouth. But you got to give yourself some, okay, 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 okay. I can see how. I can see it. Give yourself some general correction, not harsh criticism where you start to doubt yourself and quitting yourself again. And then just keep encouraging yourself to know that you're not an imposter. You are currently developing like a brighter version of your future self, a better version of your future self, a more successful version of your future self. You're in this process of becoming. I am who I say I am. I am the great I am. I am who I say I am. So this is what I want you to do for your homework. I want you to write down three accomplishments, right, that you've earned yourself. Write down three accomplishments that you've earned. And then write down like one belief that you'll release about not being enough. Write down three accomplishments that you've earned so you feel empowered, that you know, I'm confident. I'm competent in this thing. I have confidence because I'm competent in this thing. And then release that one thing. Release just one belief. Release it. The one that you tell yourself that you're not good enough. Because you are. You are good enough. You are more. So I appreciate you guys logging on to tonight's call. This has been our Sunday Night Vision Mastery call. Vision is what you envision. And again, I want to talk about that imposter syndrome so you can stop questioning yourself, stop doubting yourself, stop not believing in yourself because you are worthy. You are good enough. You are more than. You are. You know who you are. You know whose you are. You are more. Yes, you are. So I wrap up the call to have any leader who have any comment, statements, anything you want to be able to share. Anisha, Coach Catherine, anybody?
Great evening, Coach.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
Coach
thank you.
Catherine.
Yeah, thank you so much for this vision mastery. Great evening, everyone. Yeah, so I just want to share, is very important to reset your mind. Me personally, I don't know if I shared this before, but I'm the person who would want to be like my camera would be off,
Mhm.
period. I'm comfortable just being in the background. Um, but and then after recently, it was a year that I went through a battle, and we've talked about, life experiences and things that we go through. It was a whole year of battle, battle, battle. I won't go into it, but stress, stress, my whole nervous system, my mind, my mental state, my spirit, everything. So when I came back to TLC, it was easy for me to just stay with the camera off, stay and not speak, stay and pretty much stay hidden, until it was like, you know what? I took the time off, like as Coach Jason said, to give myself grace and say I got down into, pen to paper as I coach my clients. I'm coaching myself. Okay, journal it out, figure out what exactly is going on with me, get rid of the lies and all the heaviness that I went through for the year of the battle. And then with having, like Coach was saying, we have a team, we have people who are building each other up. Speaking with team members, speaking with Coach, getting coached by Coach Jason. He'd be like, just show up, just show up, just show up. And so now I just show up and it's easy. There's a time when I would speak with Coach Jason. I'm like, even to come on, like now I'm speaking, my throat, everything was tight, tension in my body. And I used to be like, what is this? What's going on? Right now, I'm relaxed. Thank God. And as Coach Jason would say, the more you do it, the more confidence you get. And all like my past and what I've been through and what I've won, thanks be to God, with my situation, I'm free
Good
so that I
stuff.
could be a better person. So I would say is definitely take the time to pour back into yourself, give yourself grace, and keep showing up. It's gonna get easier.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you. Well, a few things you talk about when it comes to that, because hiding, it does a few things. Hiding keeps you small, so you don't want to be. When you decide you don't want to be small, you stop hiding, because you got to hide. You got to crouch down and get hide and be. But you're an entrepreneur. You got to be seen. You got to let the world know. We can't do secret squirrel being that right there. We can't coach other people. You know what I'm saying? And then we can't. Then we ourselves are rocked in this imposter syndrome, because you teach in theory and you've gotten good at not to teach theory anymore, because you don't want to keep hiding, because you recognize it keeps you small. Hiding creates this emotional exhaustion. That's why you say you'd be like, oh, by the time you finish, you know how many times I talked to you back in the days, I would talk to you, be like, then by the time I'm finished, you'd be like, oh, you feel free, because it creates an exhaustion. You know what I'm saying? When you're pretending to be okay. We pretend to be less capable and less than you are, and it takes a enormous energy. It is mental energy to keep staying in that space right there. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, you can't heal what you hide, so you have to be open to this process, because hiding it just blocks the connection that we could have, connection with people, connection with self, all this other stuff. And you deserve to occupy space, period. You just do. So I'm super excited for you, young lady. So congratulations for your success and everything that where you're the direction that you're shaping. Anybody's got any last minute comments, things that they want to share before we're done?
I mean, my name was called, so I gotta speak. At this point, right? But thank you, Coach Catherine. You definitely touched on some good points after you after you elaborated more about this call tonight. I want to say that is so true. Getting on the camera speaking is one thing, but even having one-on-ones with somebody, you could just like I know what I'm saying to you. You know, I'm pouring right into you. But when it's a multitude of people that you are speaking in front of, something in your body is just like, "Ooh, okay, what's happening? What's going on?" But then
Mhm.
you do have to breathe. You do have to remember who you are in those settings. You do have to feel confident in what you're saying and knowing whatever it is that you're informing somebody with, you have what it takes because they're there to listen. They don't know about the mistakes. They don't know about what you don't know. So the impulsive syndrome is really true. I definitely have my moments every now and then as well. And it's easy to talk yourself out of something when you know what you know who you are at all times. So this was really a great it was really great to actually hear this tonight. And one thing I'm really walking away with is don't let like I paraphrased it though, but don't let that win just be a one moment thing. Like hold on to that and let that be that fire to keep for you to keep going. And I really love the questions that you actually having us do tonight as well. And I'm definitely going to make sure I do that for myself though to get where I need to be at. So really I really appreciate this call tonight as well. It's always something about the visionary on Sundays. Like I don't know, it's always something. It's very impactful. So thank you, Jason.
Well, I appreciate you as well, young lady. Thank you for sharing and and just being a leader and stepping out and just sharing. Because like I said, all this stuff is important. We having a call about it. We have to exercise it. We have to step into our greatness. And that's the thing about it. If you don't step into your greatness, you're going to stay in your mediocrity and you're going to call it fate. And fate really calls upon us at the moment of our choosing. That means we've been preparing ourselves all of our lives for a moment such as this, and we cannot keep thinking that it's something else. No, we are the deciding factors. We got to draw the line, step across, and don't go back. Decide who you're going to be and continue to show up. But anyway, guys, I love you guys. I promise you, I do. Thank you for showing up for our Sunday night Vision Mastery call. You guys are amazing leaders in your own right. So unmute your mics, guys, and say good evening and good night. And I'll see you guys on the next call.
Good
Good night.
Good
night.
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 Good
Night.
night.
Good night.
Night.
Good
Right.
night.